A sick egoism is one that makes you think that the world has been created for you. A healthy egoism is that what makes you think that you have been created for the world. And the synthesis of all this is that you exist because you are the only one that have whatever you have to give. That sounds sort of crazy, right? But think about it. It's true. What you are and what you have is unique, and you're the only one who can give it. You're the only one who have it and then can give it. So it's not just a question, a game of words here. It's the truth. And, you know, there's very little that you can do to increase or to strengthen your importance. You are important. But, you know, it's different knowing that you are important from a philosophical point of view or theoretical point of view and feeling it down in your guts that you are important. It's a totally different feeling. It's a totally different way of living when you know that you are important. So when you figure that out, what makes you important, it will make you understand that you're like, you know, the tile of a mosaic, a single tile of an enormous mosaic, and that there is that very specific place that you have to be glued on or whatever, or pushed in, whatever, occupied. There's a space that you have to occupy, and it's only yours. You're the unique tile, and you have your unique spot in something much, much bigger than you are. Now, when you realize this, then you will feel important. You're not only important, but you feel it. Because some people are important, they don't feel it, so it doesn't make any difference. You have to know why you are so keen about doing something, to get involved in something. That is what gives you importance. And you only feel that importance when you know what's unique about you. That's why it's so important. Now, the difference between people who have done something great in the world and those who haven't, who have been just ordinary people, is that exactly the first ones, the ones that have made the history, whatever history of art, history of history of politics, of social, of art, whatever it is. Okay, they made the difference because they knew they were unique. They felt it. And don't, you know, some people, when I talk about this, sometimes there are people who say, but why should I be important in the first place? You see, it's not that you become important. You are important. You already are. You don't have to become. You only must become aware of it. That is what makes the difference. Now, you know, the topic of this episode here is not about, you know, uniqueness in itself in a very broad sense, but I want to talk about uniqueness and the importance that a person has, and dedicate it specifically to young people, to youngsters, say from 18 to 25. Let's put it that way. Okay, these are the people that right now have to make or are about to make a very important decision for their life, how they want to spend the rest of their lives. Now, that's pretty important, isn't it? So, and the way you figure that out, what you want to do in your life, and I guess you want a fulfilling life, is to understand what it is in you that will make your life special. So perhaps you have to go to college and you have to already understand, you know, which path you want to take, professional path you want to take. Or you go to university, even worse. You know, it's even more important to understand where you want to go. Because when you start there and you have to invest money and time for that, you want to make sure that you got the right path, that you're on the right road. Okay, so how do you figure that out? How do you know where to go? Now, many people, unfortunately, where they don't have certain parameters from where to choose, they choose whatever career or educational path, which will open up a career, a given career, which is based on, for example, money or status quo, or being famous or something, whatever. That is not the right choice. Now, you have to ask yourself, and this is perhaps the most important question that you might ask yourself. Now, do you, in your life, do you want to make it good, or do you want to feel fulfilled? Because not necessarily they're on the same track. Sometimes they are. You can be, rich, famous, have a great position, and at the same time being fulfilled. That's great. But you didn't know that at the beginning. You know that only after you've done some, you've walked some miles ahead. But you have to know first what is going to make you feel fulfilled. And once you know that, you will either make a lot of money, or make some decent money, or make little money, but you will still feel fulfilled. And that is what is important. I've been 30 in my life, and I'm more than double that. And I tell you, it hasn't been a bed of roses. I had to make difficult choices. Things happened, which have made it very difficult for me to stay on this track that I chose more than 30 years ago. But I do feel fulfilled, and I wouldn't go back for anything in the world. Now, that's my experience, but I can tell you there's a lot of people like this. I've met a lot of people that have made a lot of money that are desperate. So money, or whatever the world outside can give you, will not make your happiness, does not make you feel fulfilled. It doesn't mean that everything that is in the world is bad and insignificant. I'm not saying that. I'm not spitting on money. I'm not spitting on social positioning. I'm not spitting on that. But they are not going to make the difference in your life. That is for sure. You can have both. Okay, but if you only have that which the world is willing to give you, and that's all you care for, you will never be fulfilled. And if you're not fulfilled, you will never be happy. Okay, so work for both. But the most important thing is do what you feel that you have to do. Now, how do you choose that? There are many ways. For example, getting more aware of what your talents are. We all have talents, at least one, everybody. What is your talent? You can draw, you can act, you can sing, you can write, you can jump, you can run, whatever. You must have a talent. That is one clue, because you haven't chosen your talent. You have been given that talent by God, by life, however you want to see it. But you did not choose your talent. But if you have that talent, it means that is a clue that perhaps the educational path that you have to take, the job that you have to take, should in some way have to do with that talent. Another thing is, what are you passionate about? What really moves you? What really triggers you? What is it that you see, that you hear, that you listen to, that really turns you on? That's passion. Okay. What is a specific field of knowledge that gives you passion? Okay, think about that. And one other thing, what are you interested in? Now, that's more intellectual. Okay, passion is more emotional, but what are you interested in? What moves you to do something, or to focus on something instead of something else? Even that is giving you a clue. Or what do you give value to? Okay, what are your values? What do you value? Your family, people, science, evolution, history, okay? Your fatherland, whatever. And that also tells you that you should get involved in something that you value, right? Does that make sense? And what have you got to give? What is in you, apart from your talent? What are your many gifts that you can share, that you can give? You can give, for example, patience, understanding. You can give knowledge in some field of knowledge. You can give your commitment. What is it that you really can give to people? What do you believe in? That is also very important. What is it that you believe in? Your work, your friendship, God, art. What is it that you really, really believe in that can make the difference? What is it for you easy to do, something easy to do? That has to do with talent, but not only talent. It comes natural to you. It doesn't have to be like a real talent, okay? But still, it's easy for you to do because you don't only live on one talent. Because even if you have one great talent, you still need to be doing other things. Talent alone is not enough. And what gives you joy? What gives you happiness? What happens when you do something that gives you joy? What is it? For example, cooking or having a family, kids give you joy, even if you don't have them yet. Okay, what gives you joy? Peace, mutual understanding, giving. Now, these are all clues: talents, passion, interest, values, beliefs, whatever. These are all clues that you can use so that you can make a decision not only based on what the world can give you, but on what you can give to the world. That is going to make the entire difference. Okay? So don't get dragged by like fashions. Okay, today everybody wants to be an influencer because they see people, they make money, they are famous, they have views and they have likes and all that. That is not going to make you happy. Okay, but perhaps for a while. Then it doesn't mean that you cannot do it aside from something else that is more important to you and that gives you more fulfillment. Okay, but not because being an influencer right now is the job that is going to be the same 10 or 20 years from now. Things may change completely, and influencers will not be so important. Who knows? We've seen this throughout history. The things that were very important at one time are no longer important today. So don't base yourself on what is fashionable today. That's not going to make the difference. You are the one who makes the difference. Okay. So, as I said, when you make your choice, really get inside yourself and try to fully understand what you're here for. And go for it. Don't even think for a minute, for a second, and ask yourself that question, like, am I capable? Am I worthy? Can I really do this? Can I really make the difference? The answer is yes. Don't doubt it. See you next time.